welcome to Italian with Miss Pavone. Or because I am unwed and youthful, you can refer to me as Signorina Pavone. So I thought it would be interesting and fun to expose you to the Italian language. My family is from Italy and we speak Italian at home and family events. So I thought it'd be an interesting way to intro the language and perhaps pique an interest in studying the language eventually, and maybe in like university, college, or now online, like with apps like Duolingo or Babbel or something like that. So I'll just give you a little background about where my family's from and why I decided to study Italian in university. So I have a map of Italy right here. So a lot of people refer to Italy as a boot, the boot-shaped country. I got my handy dandy Italian pointer here. So my parents are from southern Italy, and specifically they're actually from the toe and the heel of Italy. So I don't know if you can see that. So my mom is from Calabria, which is the toe, and my dad is from a place called Bari, which is the heel. And so they actually speak two different dialects. My mom speaks Calabrese, which is the dialect from Calabria, and my dad speaks Barese, which is the dialect from Bari. I, however, even though I understand both their dialects, I don't actually speak either of them fluently. A lot of it is proper Italian mixed with like village slang. So and because I wanted to learn how to read and write in Italian, I studied proper Italian, which is what is tends to be spoke in central Italy, where like Rome, Milan, those kind of more touristy places are. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. So I think a good way to intro Italian is just to think about the Italian words you probably already know, or the Italian people, like famous Italian people you might already have heard of. So like if we start with some Italian words you might already know, let's think of food: pizza, spaghetti, pasta. But I'm going to tell you this now. I don't think I've ever met an Italian person that appreciates people upon finding out they're Italian, going up to them and screaming in bad accents, "Spaghetti!" We don't like that. It hurts. It hurts us, okay? Just letting you know now. We can also think of some famous places in Italy that you might have already heard of or know about or have even visited. So Milan, like Fashion Week. Sicily, vineyards, like the island off the coast of southern Italy, coast of southern Italy. Venice, the underwater city with all the gondolas. Or a lot of people, especially famous Instagram people, really like places like Cinque Terre, and where the little colorful villages are, or the beautiful coastline, those kind of places. We can also think about famous Italian people you might know, other than myself, of course. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael. Yes, I did just name the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles are actually named after Italian Renaissance artists, so I think they're quite important, actually. So today I just kind of wanted to intro the sounds Italian letters make, because Italian is actually a very phonetic language once you understand what sounds each letter makes. And it's because of that, it's really easy to actually write and read in Italian. So the Italian alphabet is pretty much the same as like the Anglo-Saxon or English alphabet. So I just wanted to take you through the sounds for today. So we'll start with the beginning. So obviously A. We'll just go through it in English, and then I'll make the Italian sound, and then I put the spelling beside it. I can also upload a file to help with you continue learning the pronunciation, and to further help you with pronunciation and future spelling. So A, A makes the sound A. B, B. C is actually pronounced chi. D. E is actually e. F is f. G is g. H, we don't actually have really the sound really in Italian words. So, but H is pronounced, when you identify the letter H, how I call it H, in Italian it's identified as H. H. I actually is pronounced as E. L is pronounced as L. M, N, O, P, P. So Q is actually Q. R is R. Let's continue. S, T is T. U is a U. Or, sorry, U is A. V is actually pronounced VU. And Z is referred to as Zeta. We do have a few letters I did leave out. They're not part of the Italian alphabet. However, because new modern terms and like Instagram or something that is not part of the original Italian language has kind of immersed, like things from the Western world have kind of collided, and new things that there wouldn't be an Italian translation have emerged. So they have had to add English letters into their alphabet, but they're not necessarily used in Italian words, if that makes sense. But J is referred to as I lunga, which just literally translates to long eye. A long eye. K is referred to as kappa. W is actually referred to as doppio V. So in Italian, instead of it being called W, it's called double V, which I think makes a lot more sense because let's be real, doesn't that look like two V's and not two U's? I think so. X is referred to as X, so pretty similar. And Y has two translations. It's either referred to as I Greca, which translates to Greek I, or Ypsilon. So, and like I mentioned before, these letters don't tend to be used in Italian spelling too much. Like for example, Y, the name Yolanda is pretty common in a lot of, is pretty common in Italy. And for example, it wouldn't be spelled with a Y. To make the Y sound in Italian, you actually use an I and an O. So it'd be like Yolanda, Yolanda, which I think is very interesting. So yeah, so that is just the alphabet in Italian, and I just wanted to intro it today because I thought it would be a good way to intro the language, because as you start learning more Italian words, start reading more Italian words, definitely knowing how each letter, what sound each letter makes, it'll definitely help you along when you're learning how to read and write, and just help your overall pronunciation. Okay? Have a lovely day.